the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
We'll move on to the consent agenda. Approval of the minutes. Did everybody get a chance to review those? See if there's any corrections or additions?
There is one correction that does need to be made in the minutes. The minutes we're going to need to reflect from the last meeting. There was one agenda item that read that first reading when it was actually the second reading. So we'll need to make those minutes corrections in the minutes, but also on number 5 on the regular agenda, the action item, we are going to ratify that change.
Make a motion that we accept the consent agenda with the changes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? We are in that. Approval. Financials, bills, anybody? Anything, no corrections on those?
No,
Okay.
no corrections. Financials look like pretty good. We're kind of out of whack on a couple of things, but they should level out by the end of the year.
Okay. We'll move on to public comment. Do we have any public comment?
We need approval.
Okay, approve the financials.
I move to approve the financials.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are in that. Okay, now we'll move on to public comment.
We didn't have anybody sign up, but I do have a couple of things. One, Texas Street Water Tower is drained. They will be here tomorrow. There's a leak in it that was supposed to be fixed during the rehab process that wasn't fixed correctly. So they're coming back tomorrow to fix that. ERC grand opening Saturday, 11 o'clock. Like for everybody to be in attendance if we can. It's gonna be a good deal. The Tower of Tunnels, right?
Tunnel of Town.
Tunnel of Towers. Exhibit will be there and be open to all of us. Chamber banquets, April 5th. Just let me know if you're going or not, if you'd like to go. City has a table and EDC has a table, so we can all sit together. Airport, the weekend before the air show, or 10 days, May 5th and May 6th, the military is going to be doing some operations out there, dropping what they call a water buffalo and stuff like that. So we signed off earlier that it was fine because they're going to be out of the way, and I think it'd be a good thing for the airport to host. And that's about all I have.
I'm gonna
yeah.
follow up as we said today. We had a legislative update with TML, and JJ and myself and Cheyenne sit, and we're following several bills that could adversely affect the city. And we're one good thing that's come out of this is that they're not recognizing TML as a lobbyist anymore. So we're free and clear of that mess, and we've had to fight for the last 2 or 3 years. But it affects Jeff more than it does us, is that they're following the school vouchers bill as well. But there's several things on code that we're going to be watching as we progress. We'll keep you updated as far as anything that's going to be bad on them. That right now they're not the first part of the process. So let y'all know we're following those bills. Nobody else, so we'll move on to item 2. Discuss and act upon a request from Snack Pack for Kids Community Development Funds.
Yeah, I asked Mr. Byrne to come. I mean, they run a program through the school, Snack Pack for Kids, and they've asked for a little, for some funds out of our community development funds. Jeff, you want to talk just a little bit about?
It doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
Nope, you're good.
apologize for my attire. I didn't have time to change, but so we do have a snack pack for kids. I think most of you are familiar with that. About 15 months ago, we kept about $40,000 in that account. Not getting the donations that we previously had. Some of our bigger donors just, they can't right now, which I understand that. Anywhere from 325, we started out about 325 in the fall. We've been up to over 370, and we're pretty steady between 355 and 360 a week. 9 to 11 items in those bags. I don't know how familiar you are with the process of snack pack. Part of their mantra is they want the kids to feel like they're worthy. Can't go get stuff at Walmart that's not name brand. It's top of the line. A lot of these kids, we're guaranteeing that they have 2 breakfasts and at least 1, maybe 2 lunches over the weekend. I'm a big proponent of that. I would never ask for myself, but I'll ask for our kids every day. We've gone to churches. We do the Court of Courage with the Rotary Club. The Rotary Club's doing a golf tournament. And it all adds up, but easily between 33,000 and 35,000 a year, and we just don't have it. I mean, 6 weeks ago, we were down to 1 order for the year, and we've been able to hustle and raise a little bit more funds. I think it's a twofold system. I think it's our responsibility as a school and as our community, training our kids to be the next leaders. And I feel like some of the kids can get as much out of that by giving and donating their time, effort, and energy to that as the kids that get the bags. I feel like we owe it to our kids to teach them to be servant leaders. But I also think when you don't include bigger organizations, they don't donate as much. So that's kind of been the double-bladed sword for us. Be happy to answer any questions. My goal with this program is for our kids to invoice, stock, order, supply, demand, know exactly who to count. We have several teachers. I think Holly McCauley's been a great big help for us raising money. Mrs. Ellis and Mrs. Bowers and Mrs. Amaya run the program. The life skills class with Miss Garcia's, they help pack them once a week. We order twice a month. Those orders are anywhere from 2,500 to 3,500. So if we have 3,500 orders back to back, that's $7,000 a month for several months out of the year. So anything, if you give us $200, that's 200 more than we got. We didn't ask for a dollar amount, but I'm going door to door trying to get people to help us. So if you can, great. If you can't, we understand where you're at. I'll be happy to entertain any questions if you have them.
How about your shortfall right now?
We have a positive balance right now. We've got a golf tournament this summer.
Right.
Our goal is to raise enough money to get us through this year and have a little bit of a nest egg from that Rotary Club golf tournament so that we don't start the
Next year off
next year
negative.
off on the ground zero.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Rotary Club's made packs for them for years, and the Interact kids help with that, and
Well, and
fire department just helped at times back in that. So it's a lot of people, a lot of organizations help out.
20 hours of community service for NHS, for Interact, some of the kids for their scholarship stuff. So again, it's not that we don't want the community involved. Anybody can come up there at any time, but we want the kids to take the bull by the horn and learn that to take responsibility to care for others. That's what I'm trying to say.
Awesome.
So what's the total? I know you said it could be up to 7,000 a month, but some months are
It could
35.
be. We try really hard to maintain around 5,500 a month for 9 months out of the year. So it's over 40,000 a year.
40,000 a year.
And quite frankly, the 2 things the kids like the most are beef jerky, and I can't figure this out. I'll get cheap, it's 99 cents. But you get the cups that you can put in the microwave. It's the most expensive item on the list. It's more expensive than the beef jerky. And those are the 2 things the kids like the most. And there've been months where we had to stretch and just not get those things. A typical bag will have 1 or 2 Gatorades, 2 bowls of cereals for Saturday and Sunday morning, macaroni and cheese, beef jerky, 1 or 2 bags of chip, depending on where we're at, a deal of peanut butter crackers, a deal of, either Goldfish or Cheez-Its, and also a package of blueberry, strawberry, or chocolate, what they call them, Pop-Tarts. And, just so you know the process, we never touch a penny. The money's donated to Snack Pack for kids in Amarillo. It's designated for Dalhart ISD or Textline or Hartley or whomever. We used to order our food services, Region 16 with another company, but Labatt still honors that. Labatt is the big company chain, is out of San Antonio in Texas, but they have a manufacturing warehouse in Lubbock. And every other Monday, they drop a load off for us. Our kids inventory and place that on one day, and then they pack the bags another day. On Thursdays, they have the bags ready and they have them in totes. And I think there's 8 to 10 bags per tote, the kids can tell you. And our maintenance people after lunch pick those up, and somebody takes the delivery of the elementary, somebody takes one of the intermediate, the junior high, and obviously they're packing at the high school, so they don't have to transfer those. We have a balance invoice and we stay in contact with both Labatt and Snack Pack and Amarillo. Labatt will let us build a negative balance, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, it's gonna catch up with you eventually.
It will,
Yeah.
especially when you're spending the money that we are.
350?
350, yeah.
Easily 355. We've been up to 370. I'm sure all of you are aware of this, but I started July 1 of 2022. From July 1 of 22 to today, we've got about 160 more kids enrolled. And a large portion of those students are migrant or socioeconomically disadvantaged, and they fall into this category. We probably overserved, to be fair to you.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'd rather give a kid something that didn't need it as
Right.
opposed to leave one out that doesn't. All they have to do to get those is they have to be nominated by another student or a staff member. A parent can call me and we can put them on the list. When we get the list, we send a permission slip home with the parents simply to make sure the child doesn't have an allergy with something that we're packing.
Yeah, it's all at-risk youth, so.
Yes, sir. The Theory and Snack Pack, Darwin House started it. He and 5 of his buddies started it in his kitchen. And I think Amarillo is feeding 7,000 kids a week now. And the theory is it's name brand so that they feel important. And if you follow Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if a kid doesn't feel loved or a kid's hungry, we're not going to teach them anything during the school day. So their theory is if we can provide we're not supporting the kids, we're providing supplemental snacks and meals. And there are studies, I don't want to bore you, but there are studies that show school systems that have a snack pack program or a program similar to Snack Pack have higher achievements. So I think there's probably some validity.
Okay.
I mean, my feelings on this is, a city's very limited on ways it can actually give back to a community. And I think this is one of the programs that it falls into our community development because we are helping our community, and it's a very good program because these are our people that are up and coming.
Yeah.
Any way we can support them, I feel as we should.
Did we give to backpacks last year?
No, this will be their first time coming. Backpacks, they're coming next month. Snack Pack, this is, I believe, their first time to come also.
That's to my knowledge. Yes.
Yeah, that's a different deal.
Yeah,
I know, I mean, I didn't know the backpacks were, reason I'm asking. Because I don't know the $10,000 is enough for snack packs is what I'm.
That's what I was about to say. I was gonna say how much are we funding, and I don't agree with that either. I'm not gonna lie.
I hate to
don't.
spend 15,000 on fireworks and.
Yeah,
only
and then
10,000
only
on
give 10,000 to Snack Pack. I agree 100%.
I will say there is that the 47,000 that I have up at the top was just what was budgeted.
Mhm.
There is money in reserves.
I'm good with that. I think everybody on this board would be good with that.
Oh, yeah.
But what is
Definitely.
the price? What is,
I, For a kid, the price of a kid, if we could fund it 100%, I would.
Yeah.
That's where I'm
That's
at.
something that
I mean, that's
we would have to look at
right, but that's
the
where
next
I'm at for
budget cycle.
children, I'll 100%.
And the budget cycle is September, October.
But Mr. Burke, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all just do 9 months out of the year, correct?
Right.
This was basically to stop
It's-
gap
it's
to the
about-
end of
it's
the year.
about right. Fair, I don't.
Yeah.
I would do it during the summer months. if we could
100%.
afford it. It's a money deal.
So we can
And
revisit in October.
if we do that, the full 100%, it would deplete the fund pretty quick.
Yes.
It
We're
doesn't,
not
it doesn't
asking
regenerate that
for- Y'all
fast.
can help us get to the end of the year.
Yeah.
We don't want this to be a burden for the city. We just need a little help to continue.
Yeah, but kids aren't a burden. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how we see it. Is the kids
Exactly.
aren't a burden. It's just how can we help? What can we do to help?
At least feed them.
Yeah.
So if that means we have to move some money around to make it work, we're gonna move some money around to make it work.
You entertain a
I was
motion?
raised driving a GMC. I didn't have
Oh.
a Cadillac Escalade. So
There's any other discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we give $15,000 a snack pack for kids for the remainder of the year. And revisit in October.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
15,000. That ought to help for a little while.
If you do
Thank
need
you.
something else, let us know. We'll do what we can.
Poor guy.
Okay, we'll move on to item 3, discuss and act upon resolution 2025-02, stating that the city council has reviewed and adopted an investment policy in accordance with Public Funds Investment Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 2256, requiring the governmental body to review investment policy as well as investment strategy for public funds investment and declaring an effective date.
Yes, the state of Texas, requires us to have an investment policy since we do have, investments accounts. They're not they call them investments accounts. Basically, we pool some of our, I won't say surplus cash, but our reserves, in with different cities from around states, text pool, logic pool, stuff like that. And they require us to have a strategy on how we do that. We basically just put certain amounts into that. Mr. Mayor, I'm sure he's the one who started this policy.
Yeah.
Many years ago. We follow the state's policy, and part of that policy is that there are certain members of the staff, myself, finance director, and Sarah. Every 2 years, we go to what they call public investments training. That's part of it. Tyler just got back from that. I'm not gonna bore you with a lot of stuff. I will say that we're healthy, do what we're supposed to do by the book, and from the past administrations, our bond rating is actually very good because of the policy, and we're not making any changes. Every year we have to stamp this off. So
Make a motion.
A motion to approve the investment policy.
We adopt the
Second.
resolution.
And a second from Gary. To both carries.
carries.
Double Gary.
Yeah, double Gary. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Okay, move on to item 4, discuss and act upon approving city of Dalhart physical policies.
yes, again, this is something that our rules say that we're supposed to visit every year. It's our fiscal policy, which basically means maintaining general and utility funds. How much cash we keep on hand. We are meeting everything that our policy says we do. Why this one doesn't have to be done by resolution? Don't know. State says it doesn't, but we have to visit it. The fiscal policy just basically everything when it deals with money, how we procure equipment, stuff like that. James is pretty much the one who wrote this policy
And,
also.
And, you'll review it with your auditors every year. And
They,
if there's any corrections or additions that need to be made based on whatever the new laws put out, that they'll recommend those changes in. It's usually a checks and balances to make things so that they don't happen.
yes,
As far as fraud and
Make a motion. We act upon approving the city's fiscal policy for 2024-25.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. We'll move on to item 5. Consider and act upon a recommendation Planning and Zoning Commission to approve to ratify the second reading ordinance 2025 completed on March 10th, 2025 to rezone lot 16 east half block of 17 R3 residential special use for the purpose of placing a manufacturer. This is the one that we're correcting.
Yes, yeah, we went over it last time. Basically, it was my fault. We had the first reading instead of the second reading. It was an oversight on my part. And we are just correcting the matters at this time.
Anything new?
Nothing has changed on that one. It's, everything was just more of a, it was supposed to be presented as a second instead of the first. So
Anybody have any questions?
Move that we approve.
Got a motion to approve
Second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Or not? Item 6, discuss and act upon scheduling a public hearing for April 14th, 2025 at 6 p.m. and then introduce first reading of ordinance 2025-01 closing or abandoning or vacating all of following portions of streets in the city of Dalhart, Dalham County, Texas, a portion of Austin Street between Dodson and Camic. It says Carmack, I think it's Camic. A portion of Camic between Austin and Beaumont and a portion of Beaumont between Ken and Dodson. All of the said street portions are bordered by land owned by the same owner, providing severability clause and providing an executive date, effective date. I think it is Camic though.
it's gonna make.
Hey, somebody want to set a public hearing date?
Make a motion that we set the public hearing for April 14th, 2025 at 6 p.m. To introduce the ordinance 2025-01.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Now,
Item 7. Discuss and enact upon scheduling a public hearing for April 14th, 2025, 6 p.m. and introduce on first reading of 2025-03, authorizing the issuance of special use permit, allowing a manufactured home special permit to be located at lots 1 and 2, block 175, Blair Division, Dalhart, Texas, providing severability, providing for repealer, providing for publication and effective date 801 Tascosa.
This one, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're.
So this one is gonna be the home centers area. So this is gonna be our first reading for this one. This was tabled for a second for planning and zoning, and we had to revisit it at the next planning and zoning that we had, only for the fact that we had a surrounding neighbor that had questions and was questioning the letter in the newspaper, in which we did place it in the newspaper. It was more of, so either way, we ended up having to revisit that one. And planning and zoning went ahead and pushed it for the council reading.
Okay.
To get it done. So everything ended up being good.
Make a motion. Make a motion that we schedule a public hearing for April 14th, 2025 at 6 p.m. for ordinance 2025-03.
Second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? There are none.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
We, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Did I miss on that one? This one.